Mayor, before we get into more municipal stuff, you had a little tweet yesterday about Donald Trump's comments. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts? I mean, he's been saying some pretty crazy stuff lately, but especially what we heard yesterday. Just your thoughts on that.
We've been hearing a lot of divisive language in a lot of corners in this country and in other places in the last few months. And, it's easy to dismiss stuff like this as a joke. It's not funny anymore. This has real impact on people. And I make fun of it because how else do you deal with ridiculous things than to treat them lightly? But in addition to treating them lightly, I think that as a community, we need to stand up as good and decent people for what is good and decent. Because a lot of people are getting hurt by this kind of language. And for the vast majority of Calgarians who don't believe in this stuff, it's important that we stand up and speak out. It's generally a good rule to never read the online comments on anything, but it's almost like the online commenters have taken over public discourse, and it's important for the rest of us to stand up and say, nah, that isn't right.
Is it stuff like that that leads to the incident we saw Thursday night at the transit station?
I'm glad you asked me that, because obviously the incident we saw on Thursday night was committed by real mental giants with spelling about as poor as their values. But I think that it's also important for us to remember what happened after that. This group of young men who I'm pretty much willing to bet have not cut out red paper hearts in a long time, cut out giant red paper hearts and went back not only to clean up the graffiti, but also to spread messages of compassion. I think that's really important. This is precisely what I'm talking about. Let's remember, after the terrible incident at the mosque in Peterborough with the firebombing, the first person to come visit was the rabbi, who offered space in the synagogue for the Muslims to go and worship. And that's who we are. That's who we are as a community, and I think we got to keep working on that.
Do you actually worry about not being able to go to the United States in the future?
No.
Other topics? So were you referring to, are you likening Donald Trump then to an online comment?
Oh, I like that analogy. It's like the online commentators are running for president. Yeah, I'll stick with that.
Also, today in the House, in the Ledge, Sarah Hoffman was asked about the facility that the province is paying $60,000.
What'd she say?
She didn't answer. She just says we're studying it. Your thoughts on the fact they've spent $500,000 on this place and haven't made a decision yet?
Well, to be fair, I owe Minister Hoffman a little bit of homework that is sitting on my desk, some more stats and figures. But what's weird about this entire situation is that Alberta Health Services never asked for these stats and figures before. They went ahead and made all these decisions, and I recall former Minister Mandel very clearly saying, I didn't give them instructions to do this. They should not have done this, and they keep doing it. And to me, we all know this is a terrible idea. And today we understand that obviously if they're paying $6,000 a month, no, how much was it? 60. It was more than that, excuse me. That they're paying $60,000 a month for rent. How are they possibly going to do this cheaper than the city of Calgary? It's just not credible. So we have a situation where we fully know this is going to increase response times. We know that increased response times lead to lower patient outcomes, and it's going to cost the same or way more. Why are we even having this discussion? Minister Hoffman is doing the right thing. I have a lot of respect for her, but really she's got what she needs as soon as I send her my homework to pull the plug on this whole thing, and that's what we need to do.
Do you know when that might be?
Soon-ish. I feel like I'm late with my homework and I didn't ask for an extension. Anyone else?
Does the city need a motorist strategy?
What?
This was something that was put forward by Common Sense Calgary this morning. The city needs a motorist strategy. Perhaps you've heard of them. They're from the mayor city.
Oh, those are those people from yesterday.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that somebody who ran for councillor in Ward 12 and seems to be using this as an opportunity to perhaps build her platform for another run? No, look. We have a motorist strategy. It's called the Calgary Transportation Plan. And if you really want to be a legitimate, and we need legitimate voices to push us at the city into better policy, and if you want to be a legitimate voice of policy, try reading what's already there. That may be a really good first start. Thank you.
Thank you.